For divorced and separated couples, figuring out the holidays when it involves children can be tricky. Joining us with some tips on how to properly co-parent during this time of year is Bartlett Jr., founder of the Bartlett law firm and Vesta Divorce. He is also a certified civil court mediator. It's great to have you. You know, a harmonious holiday season doesn't just happen by osmosis. There's planning and discussion that needs to take place before this time of year happens. Absolutely.
You know, when folks are separating, when they're divorcing, when they're planning for holidays, when they're trying to make things, there are a lot of questions. And I see this, whether it's the parent or the child, it's like little question marks floating over their heads. And those question marks are what really creates the anxiety for the children and for the parents. And so if we can plan ahead and start erasing some of those question marks, you know, it's going to lower the anxiety. And that's what we need to do for our children.
Well, let's just talk about when you're figuring things out and you're dividing time, and let's say that the divorce decree says that you have shared custody with the children, every other weekend you spend with them, but then every other weekend, and then we get up to the first holiday, the first major holiday being Thanksgiving. And let's say that kind of falls under one particular parent over the other. And then we move ahead another few weeks, and let's just say Christmas, and it's that parent again. But then there's some argument there. There's feelings of, well, I want to make sure that I have my child for this holiday as opposed to this holiday. And maybe the other parent wants the same thing. How do you get over that hurdle?
Well, you know, the biggest thing is to plan ahead. Again, you know, that really should be spelled out. And that's part of when you go through a separation or divorce and you work with your attorneys and your team to make sure that that is already a schedule. If it's something that's got to be decided, then you need to sit down and plan that ahead as well. You know, you don't want to make the children part of this indecision because that, you know, is going to raise their anxiety.
I was just going to say, you don't want to have this conversation in front of the kids.
Exactly. You know, and for what's age appropriate. You know, there's certainly some situations where you have older kids that you would want some input, but certainly smaller children don't need to be part of any of this discussion. You need to plan this. You know, there's enough anxiety there as it is, just with the holidays, you know, in general.
Yeah.
They need to have that security and know they're going to be with their parents. You know, with Vesta and which is the group that I'm a part of here, we really look at the entire family and try to make sure that everybody is okay.
Right, but also let's not forget that the parents who are going through the divorce, going through the separation, they're the adults in this equation. And so it's about, to remember that it's about the children, not necessarily what they want.
Yes, yeah. You know, we call it parenting time, because I don't think you visit with your children. I think you parent, you know, you're parenting time with your children. And so trying to make those decisions, you know, you're trying to get from point A to point B in making decisions. And we want to get those decisions made in as easy and comfortable way as possible for the whole family. Because if a parent is upset, it's going to reflect right there on the children. They're going to pick up on any anxiety that those parents have.
Right, exactly. And as an attorney, I'm sure you'd agree, make sure whatever agreement you come to, you get it in writing.
Absolutely. When we work on our agreements, we are very specific. And, you know, that's the fallback. You know, if you have parents that are able to work together and make decisions together, that's great. You know, we really encourage communication. We approach this with our collaborative law practice and through Vesta with a really good team approach so that we are looking out for every member of that family and encourage communication, constructive communication between the parents.
And let me ask you this question. What if the child has a preference?
Well, again, you know, we want to put children first, and that's the part of it. Now, does that mean what's best for the children? It's not just what they want, you know, what is really the best situation. And they need both parents. And it's really, really important. We talk about this when we first have clients come in, that you never say anything negative about the other parent, because that is huge. That other parent is 50% of that child. And so if one parent says something ugly about that other parent, that child's going to pick up on that, and they're going to internalize that, and that's very hurtful.
Certainly. But do you agree that a child should have a choice in the matter? Should they decide who they want to spend Thanksgiving with, who they want to spend the other holidays with, who they want to spend their birthday with?
Yeah, I think that having some input is important. They need to be heard. But again, I think that, you've got to parent, and you have to make decisions together as to what's in the best interest of that child. So that they do have time with their mother and their father.
That's right. It's not easy. I want to thank you so much, Bart, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And happy holidays.
You too.
We're back after this.